This free iMac was destined for the bin. Cracked screen, dented corner, 15 years old, too slow to cope. What if the previous owner was wrong? I picked up this 2011 27-inch iMac for free on Facebook Marketplace because the owner was going to throw it away. The screen is smashed through the middle, the top right corner is dented, and it's filthy. So today I'm going to clean it, install a 128 gig SSD, load MX Linux XFCE, and find out where this thing can become useful again with almost no money spent. Back in 2011, the 27-inch iMac was a premium all-in-one computer, the king of the desk. A $1,700 powerhouse, huge display, Intel hardware, dedicated graphics, iconic aluminium body, at a price that could exceed very easily £1,500 in the UK, depending on configuration. This is the Bygone Behemoth. Back in the day, these were so advanced, they could even be used as an external display for other Macs. And the panel? It's a massive 1440p canvas, courtesy of LG. Inside this unit, we've got a quad-core Intel i5, 4GB of RAM, 1TB hard drive, 2 Thunderbolt ports, 4 USB ports, and 1 Firewire port, and a dedicated AMD Radeon HD 6770M GPU. These units were notorious for GPU failure. Looking at these vents, we may have a problem, so before I turn this on, I need it in the cleanest state possible. The interesting part is not that it got old. The interesting part is how fast premium technology can go from desirable to unwanted. A clean exterior can hide dead electronics, while a battered machine can still work perfectly. The only way to know is to really open it up. As the screen is smashed, I'm going to be incredibly careful. My last video sent me to hospital with a pretty deep cut. Put that down to human error. But I'm also going to be careful with the screw removal, as I really don't want to damage this LCD panel. If I slip, the screwdriver may end up going through the panel, and I definitely don't want that. Years of dust packed into fans, vents and corners. Why cleaning this matters? Dust traps heat, restricts airflow, and can make components run hotter. The first real repair isn't software, it's cleaning. Fan by fan, vent by vent, the machine starts looking less like eWaste and more like a clean computer again. I'm deliberately not throwing money at this project. No display replacement, no huge SSD, no major upgrades, just a basic 128 gig SSD. Replacing a mechanical hard drive with an SSD is one of the biggest responsive upgrades you can make to an older computer. The point of the project is not perfection, it's finding a minimum viable rescue. And why Linux instead of modern Mac OS or Windows? The short answer is that heavier operating systems generally demand more resources, while a lightweight Linux distribution can extend the useful life of older hardware. Having had a look at MX Linux, it seems to have a reputation for stability on aging systems, and XFCE keeps the desktop efficient. It's my first time trying this out, so hopefully it will give a good first impression with the hardware I'm working with. I see it like this. A lightweight desktop is like removing unnecessary weight from an old car, so more of the engine's effort goes towards moving you forward, or to become faster. The crack isn't cosmetic. A broken display can be anything from annoying to completely unusable. Cleaning, SSD install, and Linux setup won't matter if the screen can't be used. This is the real tension point of the video, I guess. Having cleaned up the iMac and taken out the hard drive, replacing it with an SSD, let's plug the USB drive in and load up MX Linux. I press the power button, and spin up, the machine comes alive. MX Linux runs successfully from the USB, and the system feels a little bit more responsive than I expected. So I guess we'll do the full install. While we wait, let's be realistic. It's not a modern video editing workstation or gaming rig. But for web browsing, documents, email, music, videos, research, file management, everyday tasks, it still has value. The key distinction: many old computers still function, but few feel pleasant to use. So I hope this one does. Zooming out, many devices are discarded not because they are unusable, but because something newer exists. This iMac is a good example. A clean, cheap SSD, lightweight OS were enough to restore practical usefulness. I'll see how it holds up over the next few weeks. I get that not all e-waste is recoverable, but a surprising amount of older hardware still has life left. Putting it back together, this giant from yesteryear presents itself okay-ish, ignoring the front glass that's now missing. This machine wasn't useless, it was just neglected. When it arrived, this looked finished. Smashed screen, dented frame, years of dirt, and truthfully, zero resale value. After a careful clean, a 128GB SSD, and an MX Linux install, it became a usable everyday computer again. And that's where it probably ends for this machine. Or maybe not. Yeah, I may have found another one that wasn't booting for £30, actually whilst writing the script for this very video. Now that the Behemoth is finally breathing again, I have to decide how far to take this restoration. I'm curious, what would you do with this hardware? Should I go for a CPU swap? Max the RAM out? Maybe swap the graphics card? Drop your upgrade ideas in the comments. Let me know what you want to see in part 2 of this restoration. Comment below. But to close this off, this machine is not perfect, not new, not even complete because of the broken screen glass. The whole point of the experiment is to make it useful. Useful doesn't mean it has to be perfect. For my previous video on the 24-inch iMac, click on the link.